Good morning, everybody. Seeing the way price had gone and I reacted at this level, it is very important for me to quickly update us on what is happening. So when we see the structure changing, we quickly have to adapt and, because as a matter of fact, it's uh, possibilities. We look at what possibilities. If price does not do A, will price do B? And that is what it's all about. And remember one video I was saying that probably this is the beginning of the ending structure since we have finished some structures downwards. That this is probably going to be the beginning of ending structure. This is one on the bigger cycle now. On the larger time frame, this one is with one of the ending structure, and two, we were looking at the possibility of this one being a 3 as an ending structure, because this one gave us a 5. And of course, I was also saying that it looks rather too short, that it might not be a 5, it might be a 3-1 and a 3-2 situation. And the moment this one broke out here, invalidated that ending structure, supposedly ending structure. The moment price broke out and the way and manner it broke out, invalidated that ending structure. And the way price came up here also to look at the all-time cycle, kind of give me an hint that price may still break above, but with what is happening, there is a slight change in that structure, and we're going to look at it together, how it has changed. Ultimately, price will still be coming down, but not that fast. So we're going to see. Now, this suggests to me that wave 3 has not ended, and as a matter of fact, we are in the inside structure of wave 3, and this looks to be like a wave 3-3. So what I'm seeing at the moment from what price is doing is that a situation whereby we correct the inside of 3-4, which will not break this trend, inside of 3-4, which will not break this trend, then to now have a 5, and that 5 will break this structure again. So once we finish that 3-5, then we'll be doing a big 3-4, so a big 4 to the downside, which I expect not to break this trend here. And we now finish off the last wave of 5. And once we do that, then something is going to change. What is going to change is also, I'll be discussing that possibility of what we are likely going to be seeing with that changes. Is it going to be an ABC correction? Is it going to be the end of the trend? We'll see. I will quickly do all of that in few minutes for us. Now, let's look at where this one is likely going to before we have a big 4 of this structure now. So we're still within with 5. It has not ended. So because 3 has not ended, we are not on the last 5. That's what I'm saying, on the last 5 of this week, not on the last 5 of this week at all. So we're still saying that this is a 1, 2, and a 3 situation. We're going to have a 4 that will break this, and then we now begin to now look at a potential last wave of 5. So this thing is still going to run till sometimes in mid-October or end of October before we move to the downside. And if we move to the downside, what are we going to see? Now, let me quickly talk about this and see where we're going to have wave 3, most likely have wave 3 ending completely before we now have a 4th. We expect at least minimum it should get to 161.8. Taking these as the beginning of wave 1, end of wave 1, and beginning of wave 2 and end of wave 2, and we're going to see where we're going to have. So from the beginning of wave 1 here, this is here, to the end of wave 1 here. You can see how it is aligning. End of wave 1 and 2, end of wave 2. So we're already seeing reaction exactly at 161.12 This is, let me take this one off so that you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is 127. This level here is 127. This is exactly 1.236. So if I take that up out, you will see the mark. Can you see the mark? So the mark is exactly at that level. And the mark to before was as a possibility. So, and exactly at this rate, this is where you have 1618. So price looks good to still bounce up and climb up to 117,600. That's what I'm saying. So I don't see price coming to the downside. So this is the level we'll be thinking of picking potentially picking to sell for before coming down. So if price okay, that's where I think we are going to come to next. So at this level, so fine, but not immediately. So we're going to have internal of 4, and so if we're going to do that, I will still be talking to us on the bigger picture of what I think is playing out on the next one. So I think for now, let's limit ourselves to DXY and Eurusd. You know, the structure still looked clean enough, unlike other USD pair structure. So if this is 3-3, so I would expect this to give me an ending structure, around this area now. So we'll start seeing an ending structure. We have 5, and before we break to the 4. So what is likely going to play out here is this. Let me go inside of the 4-hour candle. So we are seeing this reaction now. This reaction is not a reversal reaction. So it's just a correction. So, and where the correction will come to potentially is we will take this one as 2. That is what I think. This one is a 3-2 and this one is a 3-3 here, where we have gotten that reaction. So the way this one corrects also will tell me if, okay, let me do that before I tell you what I'm thinking. Normally, if you take this as the beginning of that 3-2 to 3-3, and this is 3-1 here. This is 3-1 here at this level. This is 3-1 here at this level. So ordinarily, we should not expect that this level is broken. So if this level is broken for a reason and 3-1 is taken out, then it means that we are going to see a deeper correction into the 2 and 3 situation. So which is not likely because this one has not given me an ending structure. I still expect an ending structure here, the way I saw it on 3-1 here. So this one, so we look at structures to guess and to see, not guess that, to see if it's aligning. So it's not aligning as if I'm going to break below here. So the best thing anybody can do for now is to look at possibility of, if it's going to be a shallow fall at this level, of that 3-3, a shallow fall or a deeper fall at this level. So price may retest 111.906 of the DXY, but not break through 111.100 level. It shouldn't break through this level. It will encroach around this area, but it shouldn't break through this level and before we see more upside. So that is what I can see here. Now, because this has not given me an ending structure, I'm not expecting it to violate this trend line. So if I go inside of the daily structure again, so if we finish that fall around this area, and we begin to see that we have a price reaction here, then we can sell, up to around 117 that I told you. And now we will now finish that structure of 35 there. And we can now begin to look at the possibility of correcting that 35 up with this 2 here, which is going to give us a bigger correction if that happens. So what I'm saying is that after this correction, which is the median of the inside of this 4 situation here, then to finish off 35 at this level. So once we finish 35 at this level, so we now look at a bigger correction of between here and here to give us a 4. So what I'm now saying is that in that situation, so we can now begin to look at these as a possibility of it. From 2, we can now begin to look at that scenario of having that deeper correction again. So if that deeper correction is not going to come again from this level, so we now still see this as a possibility of this one holding price, and the bigger correction of 4, we go a bit up here around 112.65 before we turn up again. So we must correct this one, finish up this correction to finish 5 up, to finish 5, appropriately here before we turn down, and that is going to break this, to this in between here again. We'll see more upside to finish up 5. So that is what I'm saying now. Now, let me tell us what has changed on the bigger time frame. Let me tell you what has changed with this move. So with this move now, something has changed with this move. I had marked it before yesterday morning. Immediately I saw this. I saw it. I had marked it almost immediately. That this is the cycle we are talking about. The cycle we've been talking about as this has been a 1 and a 2 situation. So because the way this one came down gave me an A, B, C, and this and this. Of course, at times we'll see it as an A, B, C situation. At times it's not exactly what we think, because from one level to another level, we'll always look at the possibility of an 100 shape, 100 like a triad. Because I said we should be looking at things like a 3-wave structure. So if we look at it as a 3-wave structure, we can say this is one wave, and this one is in between, and we should have at least an 100. And when we see that possibility of looking at this as a move from this level, as a move, and this is the interchange of the third before we have at 100s. So if we look at that situation, that scenario, because these are the possible scenarios that we have to look at. So if you look at that scenario, so we'll see that from this level, price moved to start a new wave and ended at the level we presume to be 3 and came back right down here at a level of what we said 4, and the 100 of it at least is also very close to this level. I'm going to this level where we expect 3 to turn down, but I don't think that is what is going to happen. So I will still show you. We're looking at possibility. I don't think that is what is going to happen. I don't think so. So as this and an 100, but I will leave it there for us to Let me use this brown. So for us to see later if it's going to play out, but I doubt that that is what it's going to be. From here to here, had given us a 160, at least 161 situation, 168 situation from this level of price that we see as 1 to the end of 1 and back to 2 here, had given us at least 161.68, 1.618 situation. And now I see this as a wave 1, a wave 2, and a wave 3. These are ended with 3 properly, and I see this one as a 4. So the 4 situation are done like this. So now this one that we are looking at, an A and a B and a C situation may actually now be a wave 1 and a wave 2 situation, and we are doing a wave 3. That is what it's what is could play out, that a wave 1 and a wave 2 and a wave 3 situation. So if that is what is going to be, so where is this going to turn and finish itself as wave 3? That is what it's going to be, because it has violated this possibility. It has violated this possibility. Price had violated that possibility. The possibility of this one being a 3-4 like this, which is at this level. This is 1618 here at this level. This 1618 at this level. So if I use a broken line for it, so we'll see how price had violated that level. So I take this one out. Price had violated it, and that's going to come up to this point now. Price had come up to this point now. So price violated this and that come up to this point now. So we have to look at a scenario of a 1 and a 2, and for us to have at least a 161.8. So in that case, we start from here to this as the 1 and this one as a 2. So the 161.8, just like we had it here, is around this level. So it's around this level. So just like it happened here. So now, if this one finish, I expect a 4 to finish, or this third wave to finish between here and between here. That is what I'm trying to say now. If that wave finishes here, it may now mean that we are going to now have, once we run 5 of this one, we have to run 5 of this one. This is 1 is 1, 2. Once we run 5 of this one, we will now be doing a big 4. That is what I think was going to play out. So we'll look at that. I hope I'm not confusing. I really hope I'm not confusing you. I really hope I'm not confusing. So if we have to finish this one first to get a 3. So assuming this 3 finishes here at this red line, so it now means that what may likely play out is a scenario of a 2 from here to this 3 to now have a 4. And we're going to have a 4. The 4 will be coming between here and this place. This place. That 4 will be playing out between here at least. We have to finish this one before we find a level for it anyway. So, and it shouldn't break the head of this 3 here, or which is 1 here. So it shouldn't break it before we go up again to finish 5. So that is on that side, on what I'm looking at now. So if it's going to be like that, so we might be seeing the 4 coming down. We might be seeing the 4 coming down. To this level. So this level. So once we come to this level, we'll know. So if this is now violated, then it is not that situation anymore, that this one is a 2 and this, then we'll now be looking at the possibility of this being your 2, this one being your 2, and the new level being your 5. There's 2 situations where at least, sorry, these are scenarios that could play out. This one being from your 2 to a new level of that, the 3rd wave, and we might be seeing it coming deeper to this level here, coming deeper to that level. Let me use, what do I use here? Let me use this. No, it looks like you're right. Oh. Okay, let me use the, so the possibility of it coming here. So at the end of the day, before we can say that something had changed, so which means that 4 the 4 may be either this to this, or 4 this to this. Now, not until we break these 2 levels before we begin to think of a change of trend. So this is still going to take time. Even before we can even do this 4, it will take like at least 6 months or thereabout. And before we can even do this 4, it might take like a year if we are going to do this. So these are possible scenarios, but we have to finish this first. So I need to show us quickly a scenario that may be playing out. That instead of, yes, because this one is 3, this one has completed itself, this one looks to have completed 4 here. Now, this last 5 is what we say is 5 may actually be playing as a 1, a 2 situation, and the last wave there. For 3 to have a 4 to do a 5 before, because the way this thing has gone off so sharp, it went off so sharp. You can see it went off so sharp. We never had a big pull of a 4. We never had it. So this could be a 1 and a 2 situation, and you know, after this may actually be coming down, you know, as you know, a 4 before a 5, and that may well just be it. But at the moment, a whole lot is happening here. A whole lot is happening here at the moment. So we better finish the inside of this before we begin to look at this scenario. So it's still a long way to go before we see us breaking this level. It's still a long way to go. The DXY is going to be falling gradually, not just like that. Not just like that. So we still have to finish this correction now. So we are still within this correction. So we have to take this out. And I've been saying it, these are things that can actually take up one's account and finish account the way they are being structured. It's enough to finish anybody's account. It's enough. So we have to look at all these things. Then this new level has been taken. This new level has been taken. So we are out of here. And so we are seeing a potential correction of 4 of years. A 4 at this level. And that 4 is on the black here. If this one is a 5, then we'll take this level here as a 2, and it will be giving us a 4 around this area before we now finish up with the 5. And after we now finish up with that 5, that is when we now be considering either this or either this as a 4. And when we violate either between here and here, and that is we are broken this structure to the downside, then it's a change of a trend. Otherwise, that's going to turn up higher. I don't know if we got all of that. So going inside of the DXY now to see what is playing out here in terms of this correction. It's still early. They are moving up and down, and that is going to be happening. So let me, so that is still what we are seeing, movement up and down inside the DXY, and we need this to close in in about 1 hour 30 minutes. And when we see the manner in which it closed, tell us is a correction. So if they are changing trend will not just change, or they won't just change direction without giving an ending structure. That is even on the lower time frame or whatever, is an ending structure. They will always give us an ending structure. Even in the smaller time frame, you always see something like this before it's marking the end of a move. So this is not it yet, but this one has to close like this. This was on Friday. It was not strong enough, but this one is strong enough. It's a kind of reaction that we bring about correction to this, at least this level. I'm going to look at Euro USD for us to know that this is the possibility of what to expect. And the way this one turns down will tell us we're going to have a move, a correction to the upside. Then the last move will tell us if it's going to fall in here or break this level. Inside of 1 hour, just bear with me. So inside of 1 hour, so we might be doing okay. This one has closed at 1 hour, and this might just be like we're going to see a move up, to correct this before we go down. So it will do a 1 hour correction to finish a 4 hour correction before probably we come to this level. So between now and Wednesday, so this is the first reaction. And if you are able to catch this, because some of us are deep into on Euro USD into negative, dipping into negative, those negatives, of course, you have to relinquish them around this area. Once they come up around this area, okay, this one, I will go inside of Euro USD for us to see. This one going up might just give us an opportunity of selling this again, having an higher entry to relinquish our position and still gain something out of it. 15 minutes, let's see, a 15 minutes correction. So it's given an ending structure on the 15 minutes for more upside here, and this may be going a bit up or even break above here before coming down. So, and if indeed if it should go up here before giving another structure for downside, then most likely it's going to break this level and go deeper. But we might not see that. So let's see the way I manage this one correctly. If you're going to catch that in 15 minutes, the best you can do is to draw this up here and see when this one is broken. If it's slow, then it's good for us. These are things we look for on the lower time frame to see what is likely going to happen. So this one is a sharp reaction, which is in order. And if this one begins to react slowly up like this, it's good for us, which means it won't break above. But when we see a sharp reaction, all of a sudden, it might break above before coming down. So, but we still need to correct this entire move, at least to this level. Let me go again inside the Eurusd for me to round up. I can't even talk of unfortunately, pound is very weak and it's going to reach parity. I first doubt if it will get to parity, but now it's going to reach parity. There's no help coming from Bank of England. I think the new prime minister it's a rookie, does not know what he's doing, and so pound is falling like mad. So basically, it's going to be, I won't be going inside of the cycle. You just adapt what we have done on the DXY to this one. Let me quickly give us. So I will be sticking with this until other structure becomes more clear. I'll be sticking with Eurusd for now. So this is the 3-5 we talked about here, and the 4, and this is supposed to be the last wave that we are doing. So this is a 1 of that last wave and a 2 of this last wave. And seeing this as an ending structure to give up this wave and to give us a 2 is like, okay, an ending structure here to give us a 1 and a 2, and now we have a 3 situation, just like I told you. So it means that we should have a 4. So this might just be the reaction to give us a 4 here. So this might be the reaction to give us a 4 here. So what I'm trying to say is that in this kind of a scenario, I'm not expecting, this is a, inside that 1, this is a 1, and this is like a 2, and this is like a 3-1 situation. So let me just combat that. This is like a 3, a 3-1 situation. And a 3-2. A 3-2. So this is still a tall order now. This is, and then we're now seeing a 3-3 that has been elongated or extended. A 3-3. Okay, I didn't mark it down here. So it's a 3-3. Then we're going to see a 3-4. A 3-4. 3.4. So that 3.4 should be solid around here. I doubt if it's going to come up here. I doubt it much if it's going to come up here. That's what I'm saying. I doubt it much. What I'm trying to tell you is that I see it more playing out like from here as a 2, which is the internal structure of the 3. And this is a 3-3. And wisely, a 3-4 should be around 97.434. So we might be seeing it ending around this area, but not beyond a 50. It's here at 98.020. So it's only the way the internal correction of this one is that will tell us if we're going to violate this and push to this side. But I think we should be expecting a reaction for a sell, for a further sell in between here. We should be looking for a reaction to sell at this level now. So that is where we should be looking. And if we violate it, then of course, as long as this level is not broken, this level here is not broken, we are turning down. So we can have this kind of a sharp movement, and the price is going to immediately jump to the upside. So we need to finish this one as a 4. Turn down again as a 5. Turn down again. Price will turn down again as a 5 before we now do a big 4, which is between here and the last low. So that's what I'm saying. It's still gonna take some time. Now, if you enter around this area, because I was saying that between 96,500 or 496, I go to the same reaction. 96 is really at this level, you know. That was what I expect. Yeah, at this level. Yeah, at this level. Yes, at this level. So price went a bit below, almost hitting our stop loss. Now I now said that we should change our stop loss to 94,700, because in case price is trying to correct, the wave B of this correction might pull a little low, and you don't want to be taken out before eventually, you know. But I doubt if that would happen from this reaction, that price is going to break this low. Now it has to finish 4 before breaking it. That's what I can see here. Forex. Inside of 1 hour, yeah, so you can see that it's trying to correct to the downside. So when you draw this and price hits this, then you can look for another sell again, and so another buy again. So let it correct this. So you are seeing the correction. The price may just hit this and go back up. It's still very early. It's still very early. It's still very early. So we have to see the way this will come. So these are given an end, you know, an end here. It's, if you are going to look at this, it's very difficult to say you're going to analyze this on 5 minutes. Very difficult to analyze this one on 5 minutes. You can see the way it is. Very, very difficult to analyze this on 5 minutes. The lowest we can do is 15 minutes, and we're going to wait. We're going to wait and see what we are going to get here. I think from the way this is going now, we may be looking at the possibility of how we see reaction between 61.8 and 85 here. So let's see if we are going to get a reaction between those two levels here for more upside. By that time, this is going to come in here and touch this trend line. We'll see what reaction we get around this level to know if we are going down more or we're going to turn up here. So the reaction you get here on the 1 hour is what tells you if you're going to, you know, place another buy here, or you wait for the price to come lower before you place another buy. So, but anyhow, where do I expect this not to pull beyond in terms of a correction? If this one is A and the B is coming, so the B can get here, for us to get a C that will come to this level or come to this level. So that is what I'm saying now. So if this one is marking an A, so far this does not turn immediately higher than this level, this will mark the end of an A for now. Can only use Dxy to guide us now into what this one, they are similar. So what should we expect? If it's going to be, of course, it can be a zigzag in between this level, then most likely it might not be a regular flat. A regular flat of 90 might not be. So it might not be. The worst case scenario is for these to give us an extended flat. So we have to look at that possibility if it's going to give us an extended flat. So if it's going to give us an extended flat, we should be looking at price turning back at 123 for a running flat, or 161.8 max for extended flat. So you have to understand what I'm trying to say. If this is the end of that structure for now, which can change or not. So we know that at a running flat level, 123 is what is expected. 123 is what is expected. And for an extended flat, the max also is between 141 or this level, which is fair, 94,800. That was why I said you should just put your new whatever at 94,700, so that price will not take you out. So everything is worked out that if this one breaks the low, good for us, which means we're going to have, you know, an extended flat correction to the upside. So this is the minimum we can do now, and we can now cross our finger that this is the minimum price should do if it's going to correct deeper at this level before we go higher again. So we are seeing the inside of 4. That is what I'm saying. And this leg, the way it corrects, will tell us the extent of this, where it's going to end. That is what I'm just trying to tell us now. So, and our stop loss, then we can just come a bit down here on the stop loss, which is around, this is 94,700 I talked about. So which I don't expect price to go for now. So you see, I did this inside of 15 minutes for us to see. Did that inside of 15 minutes for us to see. So yeah, If you want to put your alert here, you draw your trend support on 1 hour. If you can do that, now make sure that this edge and this edge touches. The first where the red stopped and where the new green started from to give you a 1 hour trend line correction. But you do that on 1 hour, but you set the alert on 15 minutes. So when you look at 15 minutes, it will look as if it has shifted from this place, but you do a 1 hour to just to get the divergence that you need for a deeper correction of this. So once price hits this at 15 minutes, you want to look at the reaction that you get at that level. Of course, you don't jump, you look at the candle you get, because this itself is a 15 minutes candle that give us the first reaction. It's a 15 minutes candle. So 15 minutes candle is enough to tell us what is going to happen. But if it falls in here slowly and there's no sharp reaction to the upside, they might go a bit down. So you might look at the candle formation in about 30 minutes or 1 hour before you tell if it's going to go a bit up. But for now, do nothing, stay where you are and see the way this one corrects it. I can't do more than this. If you ask me questions, I might just post the video later to explain. Thank you.